Let's do a little something I like to call a coffee rant in 5 minutes. Today's topic is my first overlook of Icarus. So grab your favorite mug and caffeinated beverage. Let's get started. So I played Beta Weekend 3 of Icarus. With this being a beta, I was very excited after watching GrandpaGaming play the game on his streams. And that really gave me the excitement to go out and buy this game. With this being my first experience, I am really happy that I decided to play on Beta Weekend 3. Because the first week of the beta really introduced the survival aspects of Icarus, while the second week introduced the storms. This really was a sweet spot for me to join, because week 3 introduced the new biome of the snowy mountains. With all that combined was an amazing experience of chaos and delight, discovering the game mechanics, and everything about it shows promise to be an amazing survival game. I have 2 delights and 1 great disappointment when playing this game. The first aspect that blew my mind was the customability of how you, the player, wanted to play the game. The skill tree was massive, huge. It felt like there were thousands and thousands of different ways one could play the game. The second was the building. It had a purpose for once in survival. It was very well designed and intuitive, and most anyone can pick it up and build what they want to build. But the purpose part of it came from the storms. This kind of ties into why I said I had a sweet spot, because the storms it come and destroy your base. And if you do not build a well enough structure, you could actually suffer the consequences of the storm. My great disappointment came from the graphics. Now, I have a fairly powerful computer, but when I first loaded into the game, I was instantly disappointed with the graphics. Well, turns out that I didn't have my graphics settings set up correctly, and I had to set everything to Ultra to get the full effect of Icarus. But this is where things got a little tricky, and let me explain. You see, the texture settings of Icarus is a little bit weird. The high settings for textures look extremely low poly. Like, they look like they should be low settings. And don't get me wrong, I understand that this is a beta, but while the ultra settings texture look like high graphics settings, it was a little bit confusing, but I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. Just have to have everything on ultra. Now, Mason, you say this shouldn't be an issue. Your computer is just set everything to ultra and everything will be fine. You're correct. I did that just to find out that to run ultra settings, it is required to have 10 gigabytes of video memory. And I only possess 8 gigabytes of video memory. Now, my dilemma / great disappointment was not that I couldn't run Icarus on ultra settings, which I did a few times, only resulting in the client side to lag due to not enough video memory, of course. My disappointment came from Icarus's graphic settings not being very well optimized for a lot of their users' graphics cards. Now, when I say that, I completely understand that this is a beta and things will change and maybe there'll be more optimization for the textures. But that was like a selling point when I first bought this game, is it looks freaking amazing. And I can't wait to sink my teeth into something that reminds me so much of Ark and the Forest and Green Hell. You know, it really sunk my teeth into it, but as not everyone has 10 gigabytes of video memory, I was forced to run everything on Ultra but the textures. It made things feel out of place. And that was my great disappointment. Not the gameplay, not the mechanics. Those were amazing, don't get me wrong. But my great disappointment came from the graphics, the low optimization. And I guess that's where I'm excited to see where this game will progress in the beta. Because I fully expect that this is going to be an amazing game, that the game devs are doing an amazing job to optimize it the best they can just for the beta alone. And for all I know, the full version is so optimized it will blow my mind, right?